What's going on, guys? Corrupt here. How in the hell are you? It's been a while since I said those words, but I'm back, and I am bringing with me a new series. A new series is going to be called Armor Up. Take a look at all the vehicles in Battlefield 4 and show you guys my preferred loadout. Now, I'm going to say these preferred loadout. I'm not going to say these are end-all, be-all loadouts you must run in Battlefield 4 to be successful. There's plenty of those kind of videos out there. Now, these are my preferred loadouts. These are my opinions. Don't let you get upset about them. I don't think you guys will, but I had to put that out there because you never know. People are kind of weird. Yeah. Alright, so moving on. What am I running in this vehicle? I am running the secondary unlock that you get for the main cannon, which is the APF-SDS round, if memory serves correctly. Essentially, it is a mini saber round, if you want to think about it in tank terms. It is the armor-piercing round. Now, the benefit of the armor-piercing round over the HE, it does fire faster. I mean, it flies faster, pardon me. It flies faster. It will destroy cover quicker. The issue is when you're taking on infantry, you'll need to be more accurate. To compensate for that, I run the shotgun secondary, as I call it, which is the Zuni rockets. Now, I run the Zuni rockets for multiple reasons, and one of those reasons being is I can destroy cover. I can hit a bunch of infantry at one time. I can sort of hit an area effect shot on the infantry. Don't have to be very accurate. Can hit them on the run. Get infantry that are hiding behind cover or rocks with a splash damage. Now, another benefit of the Zuni rocket is that you get 8 of them. Now, of course, they don't do as much damage as a tow missile would, but if you face guys that have active protection unlocked and use it smart, they may be able to block your first tow missile, and they're going to be able to most likely out-damage you in many scenarios before your tow missile reloads. That's why I prefer, again, the Zuni rockets. If they block my first couple of rockets, I'll know that and just wait for the active protection to expire and hammer away. Now, for optics, in this case, I'm using the night vision scope. I do bounce between this and thermal vision depending on what map I'm on. If you're on a map like Operation Firestorm and there's just fire everywhere, the thermal sight doesn't really seem to do much good because all you see is pretty much white as everything is on fire. Alright, so the countermeasure of choice for me is active protection. Now, this is new to Battlefield 4, and this may explain why a lot of people don't use it properly. Active protection essentially is a shield for 5 seconds. It protects you from all damage, and unless they're using the default loadout weapon for the engineer class, which is MBT Law, which apparently is the most powerful weapon ever made that nobody's ever heard of. So, in Battlefield 4, unless you're going against MBT Laws, you should be fine. The problem with active protection, like I said, nobody uses it properly. They fire it off as soon as they take damage, which is fine if you use it for a sort of a sleight of hand thing. You fire it off, they start firing at you, or continue to fire at you, and you just run away. The best thing to do if you don't know where the damage is coming from or you're going to be outflanked, fire it off, run away, and get better position or repair or rearm or whatever you have to do. The second way to use it is if you're in combat, you don't want to leave where you are, or you can't leave really. You fire it off once you figure out what the secondary round is. Now, this does not apply if you're going against tanks. If you're going against tanks, their main round is what's going to do the damage. Unless you're using staff shells. Staff shells still don't do as much damage as the main round, but they are annoying. And they will most likely go through active protection. In most cases, that's kind of an iffy thing. I'm not really sure on how that works. I've seen people take damage from staff shells through active protection. Again, that's a whole other video. But the secondary round is where all the damage is. So, like, if you're thinking about going against LAVs, their tow missiles and their Zuni rockets are where the power is, and they're going to be a really annoying thing to deal with. So, a way to avoid all the annoying primary rounds coming out of the LAVs and the boats is simply not to stay still. You see me doing it here because that guy was kind of in our spawn. I just want to kill him and see if I could do it as quickly as I did. And the LAV always had the ability to be mobile and agile to run around tanks in Battlefield 3 and blow things up quickly as possible. And it still holds true to Battlefield 4. You can run around here, and with the Zuni rockets and main rounds, I obliterated that poor little anti-air vehicle. Here is the thing you need to be concerned about. As you see, I forget to reload the main cannon round, so I'm sitting here looking stupid as this tank is oblivious to my presence, thankfully. And I'm able to, even though I didn't reload properly, still destroy it, and the guy bails on it. Now, here's a key point when you're dealing with LAVs against any other armored vehicle. Mobility. Did go out of bounds for a bit. Still on the side of the maps and shooting this guy in the butt. He does die pretty quick. Now, when you're getting these conquest large maps and you're in LAV, remember that you don't need to be on main roads. That's where all the tanks are going to be lurking. Mobility is always key. You see me make the mistake in 64-player conquest. You never want to be assuming that you're going to be fighting one-on-one. Even though I went to go help out my teammate there, he dies early. I died to the third vehicle I encountered in this little quick clip. So you're never alone. Always be aware of your surroundings and be mobile. These guys here fail to do pretty much all of that, and it leads to their demise. even though this is not a clip of me repair tooling the vehicle and blowing it up, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to kill everybody in their team. Another key point when it comes to LAVs and any armored vehicle or any vehicle in general, don't bail on it, because blowing that vehicle up, having to wait for it to spawn is one thing. Having the enemy use it against you is another entirely huge pain in the ass you don't want to deal with. Now, this may seem like camping in this next little clip, but you know those little artillery vehicles that you get on the Zaved 311 that spawn at like B or C? This team decided to run it all the way back to their spawn and just pretty much shell the entire map with it. So I'm not really, kind of saying that what I did here is great, but this is going to be a targeted opportunity. I'm going to show you the power of the Zuni rockets in close quarters action against vehicles. Don't really have to aim these things that well. They pretty much free fire and have a lot of drop on them, so getting long range shots on vehicles is not going to be your ideal goal. But if you see a targeted opportunity pop up, say like a transport chopper, and you can get 8 rounds into him and then a few rounds in your cannon, he's going to go nose down and you're going to get some kills. Thanks for watching episode 1 of Armor Up. If you guys have a preferred loadout you want to see me try, or a next vehicle you want to see me cover, be sure to leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Later.